G major scale is the major scale that comes after the C major scale in the circle of fifths, and it's the major scale that has one sharp. So the way that we found that the G scale comes after the C scale in the circle of fifths was by going to the fifth note in the C scale. I'll show you what I mean by that. Here's the C scale. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5. So G being the fifth note in the C scale gives us the root note or starting note for the next scale in the circle of fifths. The second piece of information that you should keep in mind is how we're going to locate the new sharp, or the note that changes from the previous scale in the circle of fifths. And the new sharp always occurs on the leading tone in major scales. What is a leading tone? In a major scale, the leading tone is note number 7. The reason why it's called a leading tone is because it sounds like it's leading you somewhere else. I'll show you what I mean by playing up to the leading tone in the C scale. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, B is 7, and it leads us up to C, which is 1 or 8. That's why it's an octave. So basically, if you just hang on the leading tone, it creates something called melodic tension, which is essentially a feeling of expectation that the listener experiences to hear the note resolved, which is in this case resolved by going back to the root note C. So for our G scale, the leading tone in this scale, or the seventh note counting up from G, will be the leading tone, and that's where our new sharp will occur in this scale. So to play the scale, the third finger goes to the third fret on the sixth string, and again the third finger is the ring finger for guitarists. So we'll pick this note down. It's a G. After the G, since we just picked down but we landed on the fifth string with our pick, and that happens to be the next note we're going to pick, the fifth string open, we're going to pick down again a second time, since that's the direction that requires least movement in the picking. So we'll pick down on the open fifth string A. We have our first two notes in our scale so far. So let's play them together, starting with the G. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2. Next comes our second fret on the fifth string, which is a B. And for this, since we just picked down across the fifth string and our pick landed below it, it'll take less motion for us to come back up across the fifth string again to play this note. So we'll pick up on this note. B is 3. So let's try from the beginning of that scale together. Third finger, third fret, sixth string. That's a G. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2, B is 3. Next, our third finger comes to the third fret on the same string, the fifth string. So since we just picked up on the fifth string and our pick is now above it, it'll take less motion to pick down on this note. Sounds like that. It's a C. It's the fourth note in our scale. Let's start it again from the top, up on our G. Third finger, third fret, sixth string. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4. Next we're going to have our fourth string, that's the next string on the thinner side, open. That's a D. And since we're above this string still, it'll take less motion to pick down on this string. D is 5. So we'll start again from the beginning of the scale on the third fret of the sixth string. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5. The next note in our scale is the second fret on the same string that we just picked, the fourth string. Since our pick landed below the 4th string, it'll take less motion to pick back up on this note. So we'll pick up on it. It's an E. It's the 6th note in our scale. We'll add that now to what we have so far. Let's start it again. 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the 6th string. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E is 6, and now comes the 7th note, which, as we mentioned before, is the leading tone in this scale, and that means that this is where the new sharp is going to occur. So F natural is on the 3rd fret of this string, but we need F sharp because we need a leading tone. So instead, we are going to take the pinky and go up to the 4th fret. Notice you want to curve the pinky as much as you can, so that the last segment of it is coming straight up out of the guitar neck, as though it were a telephone pole coming out of the ground. And that gives you strength to your muscle in your side of your hand, which controls your pinky. My thumb is in the center of the back of the neck, and this note is F sharp. So let's hear it. F sharp 7. Let's start the scale again and work our way up to that note. Ready? 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the 6th string. Here we go. Ready, and G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E is 6. Here it comes. F sharp is 7, and you guessed it, the next string open. G is 8, and it's also 1. That's the 1st octave of this scale, but we may as well play another octave of this scale, since we can fit that in the 1st position. So I'm going to now show you how to play the 2nd octave of the G major scale in the 1st position. We'll play that open G, that open 3rd string, one more time. For the next note, our 2nd finger is going to come to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, the same string we just played. This is an A note, and we'll pick up on this note. A is 2. Now, our next string open, the 2nd string, which is our B string. B is 3. Next, we're going to take our 1st finger and go to the 1st fret on that same string. C is 4. Next, we'll have our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of that same string. This is a D. D is 5. Now, our next string open 1st string, E is 6. 2nd fret on that same string. This is our leading tone. It's our F sharp. F sharp is 7. And then our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of that same string. G is 8. That's the 2nd octave of this scale. Let's go backwards now. A little more challenging to say the names of the notes going backwards. We don't say the English alphabet going backwards very often, if ever. So we'll help you out here by guiding you through. So your 3rd finger is left off on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Pick that note one more time to start going down. That's your G. Now 2nd finger comes to the 2nd fret on the same string. F sharp is 7. Next, we're going to go to the same string open, the 1st string open. E is 6. Next, we'll come with the 3rd finger to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. D is 5. Now, the 1st finger goes to the 1st fret on the same string, the 2nd string, and we lift the 3rd finger. C is 4. Now we lift that first finger and go to the same string open. B is 3. Next, our second finger goes to the second fret on the third string. A is 2. And now we lift the second finger and we play the same string open. G is 1. That's the first descending octave of this scale. Let's do the next descending octave of this scale. To continue down, fourth finger, that's the pinky for guitarists, comes to the fourth fret on the fourth string. So fourth finger, fourth fret, fourth string. This is your F sharp that we played before. Ready? Do you have it? Let's play it. F sharp is 7. Now second finger stretches down here to the second fret on the same string, the fourth string. We lift the pinky. E is 6. Now we'll lift up that second finger and we'll go to the same string open. This is a D note. D is 5. Next, the third finger comes to the third fret on the fifth string. This is a C note. C is 4. Next, the second finger goes to the second fret on the same fifth string. B is 3. Now the same string open, we lift the left hand fingers up, we pick the same string that we were just picking. A is 2. And finally, third finger, third fret, sixth string. G is 1. That's the second descending octave of this scale. Nice job. Let's do the whole scale that we just played all the way through in time together. And I'll give you 4 beats for each note. You don't have to name and number the notes now. Let's just practice it together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. G, 2, 3, 4. Next string open. A, 2, 3, 4. Second finger. B, 2, 3, 4. Third finger. C, 2, 3, 4. Next string open. D, 2, 3, 4. Second finger. E, 2, 3, 4. Here comes a pinky. F sharp. 2, 3, 4. Next string open. G, 2, 3. Let's keep going up. 4. Second fret. A, 2, 3, 4. Next string open. B, 2, 3, 4. First fret on that string. C, 2, 3, 4. Third fret on that string. D, 2, 3, 4. Next string open. E, 2, 3, 4. Second fret on that string. F sharp. 2, 3, 4. Third finger now. G, 2, 3. We're going to go backwards next. 4. Second finger. F sharp. 2, 3, 4. Same string open now. E, 2, 3, 4. Third fret on the second string. D, 2, 3, 4. First fret on the same string. C, 2, 3, 4. Same string open. B, 2, 3, 4. Second fret on the third string. A, 2, 3, 4. Same string open. G, 2. Get ready with the pinky. 3, 4. Fourth fret on the fourth string, the fourth finger. F sharp. 2, 3, 4. Second finger next. E, 2, 3, 4. Same string open. D, 2, 3, 4. Third finger now. C, 2, 3, 4. Second finger next. B, 2, 3, 4. Same string open. A, 2, 3, 4. Third finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. G, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic job. You have just played the G major scale in whole notes. Hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Happy practicing.